Hello everyone. In previous class we discussed about the Gauss theorem, proof of Gauss theorem. Today we will see the application of Gauss theorem. And first application we will find the electric field intensity due to any uniformly charged wire, infinite long wire. So first application, that is electric field intensity due to uniformly charged infinite long wire. Okay, suppose we have any infinite long wire, okay, and we cut a small piece of that. Let this length of this wire is L, and this is uniformly charged. Okay, and if it is uniformly charged like this, so what is the direction of electric field intensity? That means sorry, this will be the direction of electric field intensity, and here this will be the direction of electric field intensity. Okay, now we will take any point. Okay, now we'll consider any point and we have to calculate electric field intensity at P, which is at a distance of R from this wire. Okay, so for that purpose we have to draw any Gaussian surface. If this is the line charge, okay, here the charge is in line, so the Gaussian surface must be any cylindrical surface. Reason being, as you can see, these are the direction of electric field intensity, and if it is at point P, similarly we will take a point over here which is at a distance of P from this line, okay, which is at a distance from R of this line. Okay, so symmetrical point, we will take any symmetrical point, and now we can draw a cylinder let the length of this wire that we have considered is L, and let lambda is the linear charge density. Okay, if total charge is Q, then what about this lambda? So as we know that lambda is equals to Q by L. Okay, so from here the total charge enclosed by this will be lambda L. Clear? Okay, now as we know that from Gauss law, so applying Gauss law, that is closed integral of E dot ds is equals to Q upon epsilon naught. This is equation number 1. Now we will find the net flux, that is total flux, which is equals to closed integral of E dot ds. Now we have to open this closed integral. For that we have to consider all symmetrical or all possible surface. Okay, so here our first surface, suppose this is the cylinder, as you can see, suppose this is the cylinder. So here we have two cross sections, 1 and 2, and this is the curved surface area. So we have to calculate these three are identical figure okay, or possible figure, sorry. So here we have to calculate the electric field intensity and finally we'll add these three. So first is, this is our first figure, this is our second figure, and third, here we'll take any small surface area. Let the surface area is ds. Okay, so at this point this is the direction of electric field. This is the direction of electric field, and this will be the direction of area vector n cap. So here the angle will be 90 degree. The angle between electric field intensity and area vector is 90 degree. At surface 2, this will be the direction of electric field intensity and the outward direction of area vector will be taken. Again here you can see the angle between these two is 90 degree. At this point, this is the direction of electric field intensity and the same direction will be taken as for area vector n cap. So here the angle will be 0 degree. So now we have three different figures. So we'll take it as, this can be written as E for first figure, E ds cos, for first figure the angle between the two is 90 degree, plus closed integral. Now we'll open it. So we'll take all possible areas. So for second, this will be E ds cos 90 degree plus third E ds cos 0 degree. In case 3, the angle between them is 0 degree. So for first one, here you can see the value of cos 90 is 0. If it is 0, the whole term will become 0. Here again, here we'll put cos 90 degree is equals to 0. Okay, now what we have, only the third part, that is E ds cos 0 degree. Okay, and value of cos 0 is 1. So this becomes E ds. And at Gaussian surface, the electric field intensity will be same. So this will be taken as constant. So here this becomes E and closed integral of ds. Okay, what is ds? Here for third, the ds will be the curved surface area of cylinder. Curved surface area of cylinder. Okay, what is curved surface area of cylinder? That is 2 pi r into L. 2 pi r into L, because the radius of this curved surface area is r and total length of this cylinder is L. That's why it becomes 2 pi r L. So now we can put it over here, that is E into 2 pi r into L. This is our equation number 2. Okay, now from equation 1 and 2. Okay, so E into 2 pi RL, these two are equal to the total flux. and this is also equals to the total flux. So these two, equation 1 and 2 are equal. That's why 2 pi RL is equals to Q upon epsilon naught. Okay, and this E can be equals to, value of Q is lambda into L upon 2 pi RL into epsilon naught. Here this will be cancelled out, or this E is equals to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught into R. So this is the electric field intensity at any point at a distance of R from the line charge. Clear? Having linear charge density lambda. Okay. So next we will discuss the uniformly charged infinite sheet, plane sheet. Okay. Next is electric field intensity due to uniformly charged infinite long plane sheet. Suppose we have plane sheet which is uniformly charged okay. We have to find the electric field intensity at point P, which is at a distance of R, from this plane sheet. And one more thing that we have to understand, this R is very small as compared to this infinite sheet. In the previous case, we have to also understand the point that we took R, the point P we took from line charge at a distance of R, so that R is very small as compared to the line charge or L. Okay. Now we have to calculate the electric field intensity at this point. So first we will discuss this plane sheet is kept like this. So if it is uniformly charged, then what will be the direction of electric field intensity? It is just like the brush. That is, all electric field lines will be like this. Or if we draw any, suppose this is our plane sheet which is kept like this. Clear? This is our plane sheet. Initially it is kept like this. So here it is kept like this in side view. So if it is uniformly charged, what will be the direction of electric field intensity? That is somewhat like this. And it is both sides. Clear? Now if we have to consider here the electric field intensity at this point, so first we will draw the Gaussian surface according to this point. Okay. So at point P, which is at a distance of r from this plane sheet. So we will take one more point which is also at a distance from, we will take a symmetrical point which is also at a distance of r from this point. Okay, like this. Okay, now we will consider the, or we will draw the Gaussian surface according to this. So all electric field lines here in this case like this, and here it is like this. So we will take again corresponding to this line charge, we will take a cylinder. If we consider it as a line charge, we will take a cylinder. Okay. Okay. Having area of cross section A. Having area of cross section A. So, two surfaces that we have, 1 and 2. We will take one more surface over here, having area ds. Okay. Now we will draw, or we will find the angle between area vector and electric field intensity vector. So if this is the direction of electric field intensity that we have already discussed, and at the same time for area 1, this will be the direction of area vector. Okay, here in this case, this will be the direction of electric field intensity and this will be the direction of area vector. Okay, now here in this case, this will be the direction of area vector and this will be the direction of electric field intensity. So in this case, angle will be 0. Here in this case, angle will be 0. But in this case, the angle between these two will be 90 degree. And if the total charge if the total charge enclosed is Q, so here we will take the surface charge density which is equals to Q upon A, or total charge will be sigma into A. Okay. Now applying Gauss law, total flux is equals to closed integral of E dot ds is equals to Q upon epsilon naught. That this is our equation number 1. And total flux according to this will be closed integral of E dot ds, or closed integral of E ds cos theta. So for first one, for first area, this will be E ds cos 0 degree, plus for second area it should be E ds cos 0 degree, plus for third E ds cos 90 degree. Okay, this will be equals to 0 because cos 90 degree is equals to 0. Now what we have, that is E ds cos 0 is 1, so E ds for 1 and E ds for second. Here you can see figure 1 and 2, area 1 and 2 having the similar area, that is area of cross section A. So this will be twice of E and ds. Okay. 5, and this will be equals to, here the area, total area will be A, so this will be equals to 2EA. Let this is our equation number 2. Okay, because total area is A. Now from equation 1 and 2, so 2EA is equals to Q upon epsilon naught, or the value of Q is sigma into A. So sigma A upon epsilon naught, or E is equals to sigma A upon 2 epsilon naught into A. So this will be cancel out, or E is equals to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. So this is the total electric field intensity at any point which is placed at a distance of r due to a infinite long plane sheet. Clear? So that's it for today. In next class we will discuss the third application. This is the second application. I'm sorry. In next class we will calculate the electric field intensity due to any sphere. Thank you.